Hey guys, howdy and hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mercy, and you want tea? You want drama? You can't handle the drama, but I can give you some tea. In my last video, we reflected on the beauty that is Firelight by Sophie Jordan. Honestly, it's such a wild ride, but it's not nearly as wild as this one. Speaking of, do y'all listen to podcasts? Are you into true crime? Basically, what I'm saying is that if you've never heard of My Favorite Murder, the podcast, it's definitely something to look into. They're really good at going over past cases that you maybe haven't heard of in a way that doesn't make you feel bad. And they're goofy, so there's plenty of chortles per episode. Chortle? Literally nobody says that. Okay, so before we start, I know what you're going to say. My answer to you is, it's not as scary as you think. It's just a solid read. The Body Finder is the first in the Body Finder Quartet series. Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lollipop. Desires of the Dead is next, followed by The Last Echo, and then Dead Silence to end the quartet. Exciting, I know, I can't stop smiling, it's so good. If I'm keeping it 100, I did not know that this was a series. When I first read The Body Finder, I thought it was a standalone. I didn't know that this was a series until I started on this video. But on the other hand, that does give me an excitement because then I get to see how the relationship expands. Looks like I'm trading paper for paper again, you know? It's paper money. Books have paper in them. This is all. These are the jokes, people! Also, while I was researching for this video, she has another series called the Talking series, and I'll be checking that out too. But basically what I'm saying is if you're into Criminal Minds, this book is definitely for you. You've been hit by, you've been stripped by a smooth criminal. Ow! This book starts off with a flashback to little Violet as a child. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm so excited to talk about this book. Okay. This book starts off with little Violet as a child. She's playing in the forest while her dad is supervising. You know, dad's gotta keep that watchful eye while they're babysitting. It's here that we get the first glimpse of Violet's ability. She senses something calling out to her, and the closer she gets, the stronger the echo becomes. It isn't until she swipes some dirt away after her little mini dig that she discovers that the echo was coming from the body of a girl. Human body. Flash into the present, Violet's getting ready for her first day of her junior year of high school. As she does this, she muses over her abnormalities and what makes her stand out from the sea of generic clones at her school that she would so desperately like to fit into. No, being normal is overrated, okay? That's like the most boring thing that you can do. Her super curly hair, her dilapidated car, her words, not mine. And as far as dilapidated cars go, girl, you are lucky you got a car in high school, okay? Talking about dilapidated. Does it turn on? All right then. And the fact that she inherited the ability to talk to the dead, or rather those who have been murdered. Important distinction. She collects her best friend Jay and off they go on their way to school. So about Jay really fast. Over the summer he had a glow up and he's this hot snack, and now all the girls at school wait for them to show up in the parking lot, and Violet wants to avoid that. So she tries to avoid Jay as much as possible in school, but their other best friend Chelsea is not having any of that. She finds Violet hiding in the girls' bathroom and drags her out to where Jay is waiting for her. Right after this high school scene though, we get a sketchy inner monologue from this dude that's creeping on people in his car in the rain, which leads to the reveal that there is a serial killer loose in their community. Violet, being the genius that she is, decides, hey, you know, it'd be a great idea. Well, since the victim leaves an echo and the murderer has an imprint on them, for example, her cat kills a bird, the bird leaves an echo of bells, and then her cat also has that same imprint on him. So since the cat is alive, clearly he is the murderer. You're following? Yes. She decides it would be a spectacular idea to go and identify this killer on her own. She's like, I'll recognize the imprint, and she strolls around town actively looking for a serial killer. Well, joke's on you, Violet, because after she identifies the killer, turns out there's a second killer. And guess what? The second killer is a cop. More than they bargained for, searching for more than you bargained for. They arrest the first killer, and then the second killer is at the crime scene where she's identified, like doing her little thing because, okay, her uncle is the county cop, like sheriff thing. So he's taking her to the crime scenes because they're like, obviously there's nothing else to look out for, but you're wrong, because the killer chases Violet in the forest while she is trying to go for a run with the intention of killing her, and that's how they discover that there's a second killer. But then ultimately Jay saves the day, and that's like so totally fetch.
Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
Greggy bro! Violet's dad. She was there when she found her first significant victim. He's a strong and steady presence in her life. Though the mom is also present in the book, she seems to rely more heavily on her father and the other men in her life. I especially liked that the dad played such a big role in this book because it was like a fresh perspective. When I think about the fatherly characters in books, they aren't really explored in this way. Like they're there, but, or they might not be there, but if they are there, they're not like very active this way in YA fiction, so it was cool to experience. Stephen Ambrose. Speaking of men in Violet's life, he is the one that she seems second closest to within her family. She contributes a lot of her sense of humor to him, but I don't personally think Violet is that funny. I mean, I live for her secondhand embarrassment, but that's not her actively being funny. I think Jay is the funny one. He's also the town's chief of police, which allows him to bring Violet into the crime scene and investigations. Jules and Claire, two of Vi's friends. Jules is known for being super sporty and tomboyish. I hate that word. Though she's completely clueless when it comes to stuff that's stereotypically girly, there's this one scene in the book where the girls are trying to find shoes to match their dresses for our homecoming dance, and Jules is tired of waiting on them, so she goes and picks out shoes for everybody, and they're perfect. And they're looking at Jules like, what you hiding, girl? Stuns them all into silence. On that note, someone who is noticeably never quiet would be Claire. She appears to be kept around for kicks, as she doesn't have any other characteristics besides being a chatty Cathy with a penchant for space case commentary. Chelsea! Violet's closest girlfriend, who is known for shamelessly speaking her mind. She's bold and somewhat crass, and I'm into it. She also taunts Jay and Violet incessantly about their pining after one another. I really enjoyed this character, and I don't think we got enough of her, but like I said, there are more books, which means more Chelsea. I think I liked her so much because she reminds me of like my friends, and I just thought she was hilarious. I loved Jay Heaton, the man, the myth, the legend! Oh! I've already said that he's Vi's best friend, but when I tell you the progression of him going from best friend to boyfriend is the best thing that I have ever read. It is so entertaining. Which is why I think it's hilarious when he ignores her all of 2 times in the entire book. But one of those times is slick petty and like, where I Violet? How's it you'd be in the doghouse? I don't care if I have a crush on you, okay? Like, you do not. If I pick you up every morning to take you to school, and then I drive you home after school every afternoon, I don't have a cell phone. You're mad at me because I agreed to go on a date with somebody else, so to get revenge, you leave school and don't tell me? So now I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for you? That's not cool. That's not cool. That is a tantrum. You need to get your life together. But other than his like slight couple moments of being a petty patty, I love it. He is really a good guy. He also takes a bullet for her. How romantic! Violet Ambrose has inherited her grandmother's ability to be drawn to the dead. They emit echoes in different forms, e.g. it could be like an oil sheen. So like that's one of the characters in the book. One emits an oil sheen. It could be a smell. It could be a color, a taste, which sounds awful. It could be something audible, like the jingling of bells. I just think it's funny because she has this odd gift that she's trying to navigate, as well as having a crush on her best friend in high school. She doesn't know what to do with it because it happened all randomly because he had his summer glow up. She can't even think straight. She doesn't want to say anything to him for fear that she's gonna ruin their friendship. Relatable. So she gets all bent and it's super funny. But I am glad That it worked out for Violet and Jay, and the progression seemed very natural. And like, yay for healthy teen relationships. That surprised no one because everybody knew that you were going to be together anyway. Advice: don't go out oblivious and unaware. Really what I mean is travel in a pack at all times and trust no one. But I know that sometimes that's not really convenient for the rest of the pack or realistic. So maybe just mace everyone and carry a personal alarm. But if you mace someone, make sure it's facing the right way because you can hardly make an escape if you have 3 blind mice to yourself. 2, if you feel the urge, resist. If you feel the odd calling to go looking for things that are dead at all hours of the day, maybe don't, or seek counseling. Or if it's a gift that you've inherited from your grandmother, at the very least, take a bodyguard so that when the zombie wakes up and tries to eat you, you can push them as like, you know, like a body shield, and then you can make some headway while they're being eaten. 3, embrace your feelings. Don't put off your feelings because you're afraid of the outcome. Take a chance. You'll never fly until you try. Don't try to fly. You cannot. You are featherless and the wind will not support it. 4, there is no number for it. You just don't like odd numbers. Today, you will be left with this. You gotta know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. You gotta know when to walk away, when to run from the killer in the woods. Kenny Rogers, pretty much. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun recording this one, if you couldn't tell. Reading this book, it was just like so exciting. Like the emotions that this book invoked, you wouldn't expect from something called The Body Finder. It was just it's a great read, and it really is interesting. It keeps you there. It keeps you in the mind of the killer. Criminal Minds. Dr. Spencer Reed. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please, I would love to talk to you guys about these books. So if you read it, if you're thinking about reading it, if you have no interest, tell me why in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. Know when to walk away. And know when to run. There'll be a time enough for counting when the deal is done. So totally fact.